So the book itself is a Moleskine mixed media sketchbook, I believe. Got some stickers on there. I don't know where many of them are from, but Taylor Sue, one of my tattoo artists, made this one. I made this one. Autumnal Wood made a sheet of these frogs that I just love. And this is an old tattoo coworker, Anya, a friend and an amazing artist. C.A.K. Patrick is an Ohio tattoo artist that inspires me quite a bit. And I made this one as well. Here's the first page. I love that I put this way upside down. As you can see, I started in 2021, summertime, and finished in fall of this year. These were some figure studies that I did using lineofaction.com. It's a great reference, and I really like all these poses. Holding the apple, glasses, the egg. There's a lot going on. And this wonderful piece over here with the OK stickers. These are some watercolor doodles that I painted. There's an eye on this page. That's a bit hard to see. This just went through layers and layers. And over here, I've written down the lyrics to a Man I Trust song called A Cycle. We got the happy face spider, a scarab beetle, and a megalopygid moth. And then I made a frog on a mushroom from my imagination and colored that bad boy in with colored pencils. Over here, I had been dreaming up some tote bag designs because I have tote bags that I want to print on, and that's underneath this blue background. I decided to just draw over it with these long stemmed flowers over here. And then on this side, it's me. Took a reference photo of myself kind of making that face and wanted to challenge myself to make it look like I was really digging in with my fingers. The lyrics, "Could you possibly help me," are from a Bow band song that I was really digging at the time, so I just put it all together to make a really like existential drawing. These are just some brain dumps. I really like this page. The eyes and I give love, and the eyeball in the flower hits for me. Does it hit for you? I remember drawing this page vividly while visiting Colorado with my now fiance. I thought that he was gonna propose to me on this trip, but he ended up proposing later. But I remember being giddy with anticipation while I was anxiously drawing this. Here's a bunch of shapes that I drew and then just used a Posca marker to draw something that would fit the shape on top. And these pages got really dirty. I don't know how. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's something to do with this page. I just torched a Posca marker, a black Posca marker, to make this. I think it's so worth it. The colors really look much more vibrant with the black background. It's very illustrative and quirky. This flower lady came from my imagination, and then these are some reference drawings, which this pigeon was originally drawn to have a huge body. I redrew it. Not that a pigeon can't have that big of a body, but the reference I was looking at didn't. I remember these days vividly as well. I was sitting outside the Present Tattoo Parlor, which is the place that I used to tattoo for a couple of years. And they were just beautiful days, so I sat outside in the back lot between clients and scribbled these down. Those are lovely memories. This bear statue was something that was at a cabin. These are all just from my brain. I think I was still at that cabin, just doodling in pencil on these pages. And then I got my Posca markers out and really went crazy. The skull is pretty cool. I don't think the color mapping is quite where it should be, but you can tell what it is, so it's a victory. And here with my colored pencils, well, you can see exactly my process. I was sitting in our old apartment in our bedroom on the bed and just drawing what was in front of me. And I really like the little Nintendo 64 detail. I had all my Posca markers lined up in front of me, and there's my laptop, block printing gear on that side, and a woven blanket. Might have been this one. Yeah, I don't know if I had any leg tattoos visible at that time. I mean, I must have. Some Posca marker drawings. I still really like this one. I might make it into a sticker. I just pasted in a block print with this design, which was my Instagram logo for the longest. I drew this when visiting my parents. This is a Posca flower from my brain, very wiggly and whirly. That light pink is adorable. Oh, here I was collaging my feelings. My sweet firstborn cat passed in 2022, so I made this collage. As you can see, my printer was struggling for some of the printouts. It really was cathartic to put together. And then a little while later, I drew this tiger skull over here, and then I left the page empty. We ended up meeting these two cuties, Birdie and Gus. These are our two from the same litter. We adopted them as kittens after Nova had passed, and so I drew these portraits of them. That's my fiance and those two, and that's Gus. And yeah, those are all from reference. Anytime I make a mistake in my sketchbook, I either just draw right over it or I cover it with a post-it note, so you never have to feel stuck if you mess up. Drew this one, maybe both of these, at the family cabin, and I really love this spread. A lot of these have been tattooed, and I think this was the start of the line of thinking that led me to having a repeatable flash book for my tattoos. I asked people on Instagram what they'd like me to draw, and then I pulled up a reference and drew them. The red panda is probably my favorite. The little wiener dog is very cute, and the fox and the snail. I really like that cluster. I think I made videos while I was creating these pages with Posca markers. I had a set of mini stickers of the page on the left that y'all have just gobbled right up, so I don't have any more, but those were really fun glow-in-the-dark stickers. And then these are very cute Posca drawings on the right. Some more doodles. Almost everything on these pages except for the heart has been tattooed, some of them many times over. This one's just a sticker purge of sorts. I had like a lot of stickers just building up in my sticker drawer, so I let some of them live here. And I also drew this mushroom hand flower and the dandelion over here too. Another doodle page using Pilot Bravo pen for all of the pages that look like this, and it's a great pen. It like changed my drawing brain chemistry. Sometimes just changing your materials can do a lot for you. This page is my magnum opus as far as sketchbook pages. Everything just fits together so nicely, and it's really satisfying to look at. And this is the page that makes me think that someday I should make a coloring book. Let me know if you're on board. Something like this. Really concentrated pages with just doodles that you could color in. Wouldn't that be fun? Here's another example of what a page could be like for a coloring book, right? That's an idea. I'm planting the seed. These ones I drew at the cabin again, the in-laws cabin. This is getting heavy. I gotta change the angle. Okay, how's that? Like I said, I did these at the cabin, sitting by the fire. Here are just a lot of tiny flash concepts. This was at that family cabin once again. I took a lot of nature pics on this trip, and then I tried to transfer some of them into my style. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I tattoo leaf eyes a lot. Some more colored pencil stuff. These are some studies, and I really like how the three of them come together. This is also a transformative spread. I kind of worked out some things that I wanted to understand as far as color and reflection. Colored pencils definitely have become a staple in my art arsenal in the last couple of years because of things like this. And I had never really been into colored pencils before. This one is a piece that just kind of had to happen. I don't know. Sometimes I get a concept in my head and I literally can't think of anything else until I make it. This one, I had thinking about doing a concept like this for a while. I really wanted to bust my brain by just making a long, continuous line that did make sense. Like, I made it work out. I'd like to do another one. I want to make, like, the tangle a bit more purposeful. A lot of layers in here. More colored pencils! I started to get really obsessed with dewdrops and bleeding hearts and like the dripping quality of bleeding hearts and also teardrops, you know? Back to black and gray application, fine line and thicker outlines, and just contrast here, and then Posca markers again. I want to do like a charm chain like as a tattoo concept, and I want to keep pushing here. It's nice to look back at this and remind myself I wanted to play around with this some more. That's one of the things about creating that I think so many people like limit themselves with. Like, you want to make the perfect thing every time, and I get that. I want that too. I have that problem, but it's made easier for yourself if you just consider it practice. This is all just playtime, and playtime is so good for the soul. This is a lyric from an Uncluded song. Kimya Dawson and Aesop Rock have a collaboration called The Uncluded, and we have a song called Delicate Cycle that is one of my favorite songs of all time. And it's true that my life is a delicate cycle and I need to treat it with care. This was a balloon that one of my cats was really obsessed with, but it was starting to deflate and just like look sad, even though it had all these stars and birthday designs on it. I wanted to capture like the partial deflatedness, but also the whimsy of it, because same, you know? And then I just freehanded this stuff over here, but I should have looked at references for the lily pads because these are just kind of weird. And then we adopted a third cat, and his name is Cal, and this is a silly depiction of him, but he's a tuxedo boy, and that is my fiance. There was this like bottle of cat treats that had catnip in it called Quiet Moments, and there was a cat on the bottle that just looks so zonked, looked like he had seen things, so I drew him and I think I captured his spirit. These turned into repeatable flash. My first time drawing a Cupid. It's really cute, but don't look at the hand. Fish were fun. This was cathartic. Yeah, we're getting into some angst, some anguish, some processing things through the sketchbook. Some of that here with these teddy bears and with this affirmation. It was starting to get nicer out. I was really just feeling the beauty of the springtime and I wanted to capture that. This is a printout that got weird because my printer is slowly dying in front of me. And I just colored it into the Institute of Art and did some studies of some of the sculptures that I saw there. Some more healing through art. And this was one of the early hot days of spring starting to be summer, and I wanted to capture like the radiant energy I was feeling from the sun and just the growth possibility that I was starting to feel flow through me out of hibernation and defrosted from the winter. I feel like Minnesotans will relate to that feeling. These are some designs that I want to make into mini stickers or pins. I drew these at my first ever sketchbook club at my tattoo studio, and it was a lot of fun. I drew some of the trinkets that are in the shop. I wanted to fill the whole page, but I put in a lot of detail into those and I didn't feel like it. I just did some collaging here. This is a printout of a design of mine that I put on a lino cut with this Hello gold sticker and some gold throughout to unify. I stuck the number 12 behind here. And then I did this little doodle page. And a lot of these are in my repeatable flashbook now. And another collage. These are my tiles. I carved them in rubber and then printed them and cut them out and then glued them onto the page. So that's what's going on there. And here I asked Instagram again for some suggestions of what to draw, and this is what came out of that. Here was another sketchbook club. I had some friends over to draw together in the summer. I really wanted to draw some birds that were just like super twirly whirly. But I think this one turned out pretty good. I like how this one looks. Yeah, this one just looks like it has a broken back for sure. And that's my bad, sir. This is one that I carved and then printed in my sketchbook. Just drew that and put it in my repeatable flashbook. So we're getting into some recent stuff. This guy's in the repeatable flashbook too. My fiance asked me to draw a fish jumping out of the water, and I think that turned out really good, to be honest. I'm pretty proud of it. And then we got another wet flower. I did my Halloween flash for this year. All turned out really cute, and I hope I can tattoo them. And this is the last spread of the sketchbook. Here is the one that I did today. I wanted to make like a quilt looking page dedicated to the solo cabin stay that I'm currently on. Yeah, I just want to thank this book for all that it's given me. I've grown a lot. The sketchbook taught me a lot of lessons. We went through a lot together. Yeah, that should do it. Thanks for watching.